Pomp says, have you ever sold any Bitcoin based on 4-year cycles? That's a great question. And I think that is something that we need to be considering here, is that yes, we're here forever with our main stack, but we also need to be prepared to spend some Bitcoin. And so an example of this is a great question. An example of this is right now, I hold the majority of my free cash in my ShakePay wallet in Bitcoin. So you can easily swap back and forth within the app. While I'm standing in line at the grocery store, while I'm actually paying for groceries, I can sell Bitcoin for cash and pay for the groceries there with ShakePay. And I think in America, you can do the same thing with Fold app. And so basically right now, I hold all of my free cash in Bitcoin, not because it's my savings. I'm not holding that Bitcoin forever. That's just my cash that I need to live off of. And instead of holding that cash in fiat, I hold it in Bitcoin right now. If this was 2023, 2022, that's not the case, because Bitcoin was going down and I wasn't really sure what was going to happen with it. It could be 2 weeks later, all of a sudden that cash I had in there was worth a lot less. And so my purchasing power went down. So you have to be very conscious of where you are in the halving cycle. Today, I do hold that in Bitcoin. So yes, I have sold Bitcoin. I don't call it selling Bitcoin though. I've never like cashed out 2 million sats and just, kept it in dollars. I've never exchanged Bitcoin for dollars just because I wanted to take some profits out. Spending Bitcoin. You keep it in Bitcoin as you need it. You convert it to cash. And the only thing that does is just increases your purchasing power with everything. It makes everything cheaper. And it's going to be, I would say for the next year, it's going to be the same case, year and a half maybe. I'll just continue holding all of my free cash, my monthly expenses in Bitcoin. And then when I need to spend it, I swap it into cash and pay for things with that. So I think that that's actually considered spending Bitcoin instead of selling Bitcoin. But in terms of, like I said, my main stack, that'll never move. The main stack of Bitcoin will never move. And what you can do in the future is you can actually leverage that. You can take out loans against it. And if you need to buy something, you can just go to the bank, assuming banks exist then, and just swap it for a loan, get some dollars. But don't ever sell the Bitcoin, because you're never going to get the same amount back in the future, ever. Beware of crypto giveaway scams. Absolutely. That's a really good, just don't beware of crypto, period, for the most part. And I've said this before, I do think that there's going to be a need for cryptos in the future. I do. I think that, there's a ton of use for like a Litecoin in terms of very, very low transaction fees. I think Dogecoin, if Twitter picks it up, people can send that back and forth easily. It's just something fun. But at the same time, if you're holding your wealth in that right now instead of Bitcoin, I also think that you're a fool. Get Bitcoin, get through this next year and a half. And then if you want to trade some of those profits, swap it for some Litecoin, for some Dogecoin, whatever, that'd be the time to do it. But you're not going to outperform Bitcoin in the next year and a half. Palm says the only utility for ETH is producing more shitcoins. That's very true. It is kind of like the mother spawn of shitcoins. Crypto Ethan says sell Bitcoin for what? Exactly. And Oliver, it's a new face in the chat. I'm going to sell 500,404 billion Bitcoin today. It's a lot. That's like 50 trillion, 500 trillion. What are you going to buy with that, Oliver? Some new sneaks. Crypto Ethan confirmed does the same thing with the Fold app. So that's kind of that's really good advice, I think, for right now. Keep your money in Bitcoin. Keep it in an app like ShakePay, like Fold, where you can hold fiat and Bitcoin in there. And whenever you need to, hold it in Bitcoin, but swap it to fiat as you need to.